Radio Theater presents Lurking in the Shadows. There it sits, waiting, watching, patiently biding its time until finally you can never rest. You can never stop. You can never see what's lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, 2 words. No comment.
So how you doing? You feeling any better, son?
Yeah, okay, I guess. How's Ken? He saved my life, you know.
You'll be okay, son. Right now, I'm going to need some help. And you're about the only one who can provide it. So, can you try to tell me exactly what happened? Take your time now. Just go nice and easy.
Well, I started working here about a month ago. The doctor was a real nice lady,
Uh-huh.
and I really liked working with the animals.
I got you, son. Go on.
But I didn't realize how creepy it got at night. Alone. In there. I remember it was my first Wednesday on the night shift.
Uh-huh.
I had just finished the offices and was going towards a kennel when I saw, or thought I saw it, a huge animal running
An
across
animal? What kind of animal?
Well, it was big, like a dog, but it didn't seem to move like one.
How do you mean?
It almost glided across the floor, and it seemed to vanish before it got to the end of the hallway. Anyway, that was the first time that
So you're saying there were other times you saw this creature more than just the once?
yeah, on Wednesdays. It always started around 11 o'clock. It would howl like a demon. The other animals that we were boarding would whimper and crouch so you couldn't get near them. The first time I think it noticed me, I had just started to mop the hallway near the exam room. As I looked up, I saw these eyes. Yellow eyes. They almost hung there alone in space. I wasn't sure if I was really seeing them until I heard it growl. I was terrified. My mind began to race. It wasn't any animal that we had here. I tried to get a good look at it, but all I could see were those eyes. And then it lunged. And suddenly I felt myself running. I couldn't think. I ran straight into the janitor's closet at the end of the hall, and as I reached for the door behind me, the thing slammed into it, knocking into the shelves. I could hear it out there, sniffing under the door like a wild animal on the scent of its prey. I stayed there in the closet until I heard Ken come in that morning. I didn't know if he was going to believe me or not, but I had to tell someone.
Jeez, kid. If it weren't for the look on your face right now, I'd think you were putting me on.
Honest, Ken, I'm not going to work another night unless you...
Okay, all right. I'll meet you here tonight at 10:30.
No, Wednesday.
Okay. Wednesday. Excuse me, Dr. Marshall?
Yes, Ken, come in. What can I do for you?
Well, I was wondering if I could work Wednesday night with Ted. He seemed a little jumpy this morning when I came in, and, well, he hasn't been here that long, and I don't know, I just thought maybe I could help him out, or...
Yeah, I understand. Well, he seems like a nice boy, and as tough as it is to find people to work the late shifts, I guess it would be fine.
Oh, great, Doctor. Thanks.
It was very keen of you to take an interest, Ken. I guess it takes some people a little time to get used to working in a real loony bin.
Loony bin? But what do you mean?
Oh, I forgot. Your family didn't live here then. Years ago, this building was a hospital for the criminally insane. When the state finally closed it down, it was bought by one of the chief residents, Dr. Armstrong. He opened a sort of rest home for people too old or too sick to be on their own. It sounds quite common now, I suppose, but he was one of the first. He even took in their pets so the folks could die with family, the only family they had left. Anyway, he eventually started taking in more animals than people, and it became sort of a home for wayward animals. And that's about when I moved here and bought the place, after Dr. Armstrong had died.
On Wednesday night, Ken was at the clinic early, and I was glad too. We made quick work of the chores that night, and right around 11 o'clock, it started all over again, just like always.
What in the heck was that?
It's here. Look, there.
Wow. Ted, come on, hurry. It's in the exam room. Holy smoke.
It's gone.
Oh, something that big can't vanish. Where'd it go? Here, give me a hand. Let's move this cabinet.
As we moved the large storage cabinet away from the wall, the demon cry sounded almost mournful, and then it died away.
Ted, look at the blocks in these walls. They don't match the rest of them. Looks like a doorway that's been bricked over.
Yeah,
Hey, you got a pocket knife?
here.
Yeah, this mortar looks like it'll almost fall out on its own. I've almost got it. Here, watch yourself. Wow, did you feel that air rush out?
Is there a flashlight we can use?
Hey, Ted, I'm thinking maybe we should come back this weekend. We can get some proper lights and maybe get a few tools.
So let me get this straight. You two boys took it upon yourselves to hunt down this whatever it was, without consulting Dr. Marshall, or animal control, or myself, or anybody else.
You don't understand. We're not vandals. If only you had been there, you would have seen
Now, take it easy, son. Take it easy. You're not on trial here. Nobody's even pressing any charges against you. Here, have a little water.
Thanks.
That's it. But you've got to understand, it's vital for me to know what went on here. Lives could be at stake. People right here in this community. So now, you just go ahead when you're ready. You were saying that you and Kenny went back that weekend and started tearing down the cellar wall because you thought there was some kind of...
Yeah, we went in Saturday evening. Ken and I had a couple of lanterns and a bag of tools. We took the first 3 or 4 bricks out just so we could fit a lantern inside. I was scared to look. Ken leaned into the hole and it looked weird to me, like he was half devoured by this brick wall. Ken went through first and I followed, passed the tools through. Once I scrambled through the hole and my eyes adjusted to the dark, I could see pretty clearly.
What'd you see?
Big set of oak doors leading to a short flight of stairs. As we started down, the chill seemed to creep into my clothes, and there was the smell of wet fur in the air. The walls were dark with soot, like there had been a fire. At the bottom of the stairs, there was a pile of debris that had fallen from the ceiling, and it blocked our way. If it weren't for Ken, I'd have turned back, but he wasted no time in clearing a path.
Here, you hold the lantern.
Okay.
I'm going to see if I can move some of this out of the way. Stand back. All right, now watch yourself. There.
The lantern! It's gone out!
Oh, come here. Here, let me do it.
Oh, light it quick!
Will
Hurry!
you hold it still?
Jeez, Ken.
All right, there you go. Come on, stay close.
Look at this place. Looks like an old laboratory.
Laboratory? What kind of a laboratory?
I don't know, machines and stuff. That's where we found the book.
The book, yes. That was Dr. Armstrong's journal. This was his place for years, long before Dr. Marshall took up her practice here. Where exactly in this laboratory did you find the book?
Well, the place looked like a war zone. There was broken glass and charred furniture. It was scattered everywhere. Ken started turning over the rubble, looking for...
Labs keep records, Ted. I'm looking for some kind of a journal. It's got to be a book that tells what went on here. Hey, look at this. I think this is it. Maybe this will tell us something about what was going on.
It's getting closer. Let's take it with us and get out of here.
Come on, this way. Hey, you okay, Ted?
The lantern's out again. Oh, jeez, it's a human skull.
It's a whole skeleton.
You think he died in the fire?
No, look at his legs. Flesh was pulled off it, shredded, and look at his arm. It looks mangled. No, Ted, whatever did this was powerful, strong, and judging from the size of the bite, it must have been enormous. Come on, let's go this way.
What's that cage for?
That looks like an animal cage. It must be 10 feet tall.
The doors have been torn off.
Look at the way the bars are bent. This cage wasn't broken into. It's been broken out of. What kind of an animal could do so?
Jeez, Ken, look at that. Some kind of animal skeleton. But it's huge.
Wow.
This must be what got to that guy in the other room.
Must have been trying to dig its way out when the wall caved in on it. Rib cage touches the ceiling. It must be 20 feet long. Shoot, where's it coming from? Where is it?
It sounds like it's coming from everywhere. We're gonna have to make a run for it.
Come on, let's go, okay?
It's got my leg! God! Get out of here!
So I threw the lantern at it, and it vanished.
Just vanished, huh? Just like that.
Yeah.
Pardon me, Sheriff.
Son, you just sit there and relax. I'll be right back. What's the status, Stephen?
Well, we moved all the caged animals to animal control for observation, along with their medical.
Okay.
And we searched the building, and we searched the grounds outside.
What about the basement?
There isn't anything down there, sir. Just two skeletons, like the boy said.
Uh-huh.
One human, male, badly mangled. One animal, no idea what it is. Dead about the same time. Big one, though. Must be 20 foot long. Imagine if that thing...
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Why don't you try to get a hold of Sheriff Creighton over in University County? I'm going to need to talk to him. Hey, Stevens, you find anything yet in that journal?
Plenty. There's seems this Dr. Armstrong and his son were injecting spinal fluid from humans into animals. Dogs, mostly. He only mentions a few of them by name. And we traced them all to the old asylum. He was using patients from the insane asylum to experiment on. Can you believe it?
What in the name of heaven? What was he trying to do?
Well, I figure he got the idea to create some kind of super intelligent breed of animal. It doesn't say why in here. Of course, I'm not through the whole thing yet. Sheriff, it's a mess down there. It's going to be tough to identify the body after all this time.
We don't have to. It's Armstrong's son, Daniel. He was supposedly killed in an auto accident on the way back to his college, but that whole thing never did sit right with me. Just didn't add up. I don't know why.
You got this figured, Sheriff?
Well, most of it, anyway. Daniel died here. One of their things got out of hand and killed him. Armstrong must have panicked. He decided to destroy the lab and seal it off. Then he covered up his own son's death with the fake car wreck. I guess he covered all his tracks pretty well. At least till that wall came down with all the evidence behind it.
That all makes sense now, Sheriff. What took off that guy's leg?
Well now, Pete, that's the part I ain't got figured. And to tell you the truth, I ain't so sure I want to know.
hope you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And please join us again. Until next time, try not to stray from the light. Ha ha ha. This has been a Veidt Radio Network production.